welcome to Occupy Little Rock Radio.
Mic check!
Mic check!
Mic check!
Mic check!
Occupy Little Rock Radio!
Occupy Little Rock Radio!
Starts now!
Starts now!
Alright,
Yay!
Welcome to Occupy Little Rock Radio on this beautiful Sunday evening, or Saturday evening.
Oh, geez,
Sunday.
don't you send me back to work a day early.
I'll be your host today. It's Kaitlin Lott, and in the studio we've got Nielson, Mel Lane, Greg Deckelman, Dustin Kurz, and Trey Weir. And we've got a lot on the table for you today. Trey Weir and Dustin, are you here for that too?
Yes,
are here from AIME. It's Arkansas Initiative for Marriage Equality.
Yeah.
And we are going to start today by bashing the NSA. Who would like to start that?
Who wants that?
Yeah, start the tape recorders.
Oh
guys.
wait, before we start that,
Are you listening?
we should give out the number for the station in case you want to call in, and that number is, someone remind me,
501 433
433
0088.
Okay.
501-433-0088.
Now for this first half, we're just going to be texting our thoughts about the NSA so they can get it, so just bear with us.
Unless you're using the new service that's out there that they can't read, then you're out of luck.
Yeah. Okay, who wants to start us off on the NSA?
Well, as Edward Snowden feared, they are, of course, focusing more on him, and this is not precisely the NSA, but it appears that our State Department just keeps stepping on its own toes.
Yeah, that's a nice way to put it.
And because they've kind of let all of our Western European allies know that they really do want this guy, no matter what they're saying in public. And to the point of when was it? Was it
The Ecuadorian president's plane? Is that what you're getting at?
The Bolivian president's plane.
Bolivian president,
yeah,
my
it was
bad.
Evo Morales.
Oh,
Alright,
we have a
guys, we
phone
got a
call?
phone call already.
Whoa. Mine too. Go ahead and answer.
Occupy Little Rock Radio, you're on the air? Hopefully.
Pardon?
Can you hear us?
Can you hear us? Carrie Underwood. Yeah, I got Carrie Underwood on that one. Oh, are you still there? He dropped us. Yeah, we got. I did. Yeah, he dropped. He dropped the call.
Okay, more technical difficulties.
No. He. There was a request to play more Carrie Underwood.
Oh.
I'm going. Okay, sure. Right, we'll do that.
Okay. Well, Jesus takes
That must have been our friends at the NSA. Yes.
Well, anyway, back to our wonderful drama this week. To make a long story short, I believe it was Spain, France, and several other countries refused to allow the Bolivians don't have a plane that's going to make a straight shot from Russia to South America. So they do need to stop and refuel on the way. And there for a while, they were coming back from a conference in Russia, and apparently there was a rumor going around that Snowden might be on the plane. Well, first nobody would let them land to refuel, almost ran them out of fuel, and they finally got permission to land in Austria. And now we're talking about a plane carrying a sovereign country's democratically elected leader.
Yeah.
How sovereign is that, though?
Let me ask you, I heard a different narrative, so correct me if I'm wrong. I heard that they forced that plane down.
Yes, they did. What they did was they bumped it around so much they almost ran out of fuel.
Oh,
so,
okay. Well,
that's going to force you to land.
Okay.
And then they were prevented from leaving Austria for I don't know how many hours. It was overnight.
Yeah.
12 hours.
And,
Yeah, it was a 12-hour holdover.
Yeah, and I'm not sure what the U.S. was intending by having their buddies do this kind of action, but it seems to have produced exactly the opposite reaction because many countries in South America are livid.
It's not just South America and Europe. I mean, we've got suspended trade agreements.
Yeah.
I mean, all over the place. In Ecuador, France, the EU met and it stopped us reaching another agreement for a trade that they just threw out. So, I mean,
And now Snowden is finally getting offered asylum. I know for sure in Nicaragua and in Venezuela.
Venezuela, yeah.
Well, they also, I was going to say, yeah, you're right. But they also issued this is interesting. They issued an arrest warrant, submitted it to Ireland's foreign services. Apparently, they were thinking he was heading to Ireland too. So in this case, where is the ghost of Edward Snowden?
He's actually applied for citizenship in a lot of countries.
Have they officially offered the asylums?
No.
The presidents
They talked about
Nicaragua, Manuel Ortega,
Right.
and Venezuela, and I can't remember
Those
the
were
guys'
official.
names, have both publicly in speeches offered
Okay.
asylum.
Yes.
But
Well, that's probably technically correct, and I'm glad you correct that. But he's applied for asylum. I believe it was in 6 countries that I read just this morning. So it may be up to 20 by now. I haven't been checked it back since 9 o'clock this morning.
Yeah.
But Iceland is on that list.
Yeah.
And so I'm really glad. I hope he winds up there. But if he winds up in a smaller country, the problem is going to be they're easier to push around than some of these bigger countries. So.
Well, and our media is starting to help out quite a bit because at first they covered it relatively well. I mean, except for Fox News, which isn't news, so we don't count that. But now even the liberal media is starting to talk about his background and the possibility of him making some of this up. And I mean, it's just it's hitting the fan. And so I don't know where it's going to go from here, but.
Well, I think one of the reasons they want to get their hands on him so bad is because Greenwald, the guy from The Guardian, who broke the story initially, has already said there's more to come.
Yeah.
And this is not a question of national security. This is a question of how badly are these guys going to be able to embarrass
I mean, they're just being as bold as they possibly can be about this. And there's some people not too happy about it because the Irish bankers came out this week in a recording, and somebody, they knew actually they were being recorded. I kid you not. They knew they were being recorded, and they still made jokes about how they were duping the public and how they were getting all this free money to the tune of $16 billion.
Yeah.
And so just the hubris of the banksters around the world continues each and every day. And they feel complete impunity at this point to ruin the lives of everyone on this planet. Everyone on this planet.
And if you're not feeling it, you will.
That's right. If you're not outraged, you ain't paying attention.
Right.
Well, no, I mean, if you're not literally feeling it in your pocketbook, you will.
Yeah.
Yes, you will.
You will. It's just a matter of time.
It's about personal responsibility. It's not the bank's responsibility. You need to get
We're holding the banksters personally responsible. I'm telling you right now. If nobody else has got anything else, I want to touch on my subject really quick that I brought. I've got over a year of research into this, and there's no way in the next 8 minutes I can cover all this. And I'm going to try to hit the high points and stuff. And if you guys have a question, jump in there, please. And stuff, but I've kind of dubbed this report thing. The and some of you I know are fixing to take issue with this, and that's okay. But I'm calling it the father of Occupy. And the reason being is because, and I know we're the leader of this movement, yada yada yada, but somebody somewhere had to come up with these concepts of 99%, the name Occupy, and this whole thing.
It's been around forever.
Oh, okay. Give me the guy's name.
Oh.
We've been talking about this for 20 years. It used to be 90% and 10%. It's just gotten worse now.
Well, okay. I'm referring, because this is Occupy Little Rock Radio. I'm talking about the Occupy movement itself. That's specific.
Well, I mean, I think it goes.
Collective act.
Yeah, I think it goes
that's
back.
the narrative that's out there, and I hate to be really pushy about this. That's the narrative that's wrong, and I can prove it. I'll be happy to prove it to anybody, anytime. Because I've wondered this question from the 2 or 3 days after I hit the site. How did this, what really happened? And I started doing some things. And the guy's name is David DeGraw.
Apparently we have a dissenting voice here.
How do we know that?
Just give me a second here.
Occupy Little Rock Radio, you're on the air.
Hello. Okay, we're on the air. They're live. Occupy Little Rock Radio.
We can't hear them.
Yeah. Hello. Oh, they dropped the call.
Yeah. It never showed up on the monitor over here. They weren't talking.
Shoot. Okay. Apologize.
Here's the reason that I'm going to say this and make this proclamation. And it's my proclamation. It's not an Occupy Little Rock proclamation.
This is an opinion.
This is an opinion. And I think a well-structured, well-based opinion. David DeGraw started in 2009 as a journalist working in the Wall Street area for non-profit type journalism. But because of the bank stuff that happened in 2008, all of the funding dried up, and he started being really upset about it, basically. Like I said, I can't go, I have all the facts and figures, but he started it in 2009. He wrote a series of things that was entitled the 99% stuff, but because when other organizations picked it up, they dropped that part. And so that's why he didn't get credit for that going along the way. But he's now getting credit for it. In my hot little hands is a copy of Trial Lawyer magazine and stuff that he wrote a piece in that he clarified some of the narrative that was currently out there and so forth. I reached out to him today for this radio program telling him that I was going to be talking about this, and he is online and stuff, and he didn't respond as of this afternoon. He's probably doing important things like everybody else. But I suspect I will hear back from him because we actually, I found out, have some mutual friends at this point. But he really did start the actual narrative, wrote the articles, and then people jumped on and glammed on. And the Occupy Wall Street thing was actually started 3 months before the September occupation, which he was instrumental in starting with these articles and with these things with about 16 key people, which they thought they were going to have a whole bunch. And really they had already contacted Anonymous and the stuff, and so the Arab Spring, we did not borrow from them, they borrowed from us. And if you put together the timeline, which a lot of people have said Arab Spring, we borrowed from that. Well, we borrowed maybe some ideas, but no, Arab Spring and those sorts of things that sprung up that was Occupy related, quote unquote, that came from this set of group of stuff that he put out. Also, what he did was he put out the stuff in 2010 and 2011 that got the whole thing started with the actual occupation, which was Occupy Bloombergville. So, you know, and those people, well, actually I think of the name of it, now that I think without looking, it was Bloombergville. And they convinced that people at City Hall to come, to gather back in September, and that's how Zuccotti Park actually started, with that group of folks and stuff and everything. So really, all of the things in the groundwork that this gentleman, David DeGraw, laid, was actually the father of Occupy as we know Occupy. So anybody else that tells you any different, I can back it up with what I say and the research that I've done for over a year. I've been saving this story until I could get a few facts in there. So
that is some very interesting information, and I am very happy with the work the gentleman has done. But as Occupy doesn't have leaders, I'm pretty sure we don't have fathers, excluding mothers either.
Oh, wow. And we're
let's be literal. Let's be literal while we're
right on the
Let's be literal.
here.
Okay. Starting now.
Occupy Little Rock Radio, you're on the air.
Oh, hey, Chuck.
Oh, we can't hear it. Hold on just a second. We've got like a minute left.
The initiative got passed in Oregon to be the 16th state in the country to do so.
Awesome!
I don't mention that. This is an important thing. I just want to keep it positive here, guys.
Yeah, too loud.
The political process is corrupting our system, and the people need to have transparency and accountability for that money that's spent. Let's keep it there. Let's not focus on who the leader of Occupy is. Let's keep it something we can do, and then let's do something about it. Thank you all. Have a great day.
Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
All right, guys. Well, we're at the end of our time, so we'll go ahead and close down. This has been Occupy Little Rock Radio on KABF 88.3, the voice of the people, not the sheeple.